Imagine Jesus entrusting you with a sum of money. Instead of using it wisely, you bury it in fear of losing it. The result? You not only miss the chance to multiply it, but you also receive one of the harshest rebukes in the Bible, you wicked and lazy servant. But why was Jesus so severe? What crucial financial principle is hidden in this story? In the parable of the talents, Jesus teaches us more than just a spiritual lesson. He reveals a powerful financial truth. Money is not meant to sit idle, it's meant to grow. Yet, many people still fear investing, hesitate to take steps toward financial growth, and unknowingly fall into the same trap as the servant who buried his talent. If you've ever felt afraid to invest, unsure about growing your wealth, or wondered what the Bible really says about finances, stay with me until the end. Today, we'll uncover how to apply this parable in real life and break free from a scarcity mindset. Let's get started. The biggest financial mistake in the Bible appears in the parable of the talents, when a servant hides his master's money out of fear of losing it. This mistake was not just financial, it was a mindset failure. Instead of multiplying what he had, he hoarded it, and because of that, he was called a wicked and lazy servant. This raises an important question. Are we making the same mistake by avoiding investments out of fear of loss? Saving money without a strategy is like burying seeds and expecting them to grow on their own. The problem is not caution, but the paralysis caused by fear. The servant who buried his talent didn't lose money, but he also didn't generate any return. Jesus made it clear that money must be used wisely because idle money loses value. Are we using our resources strategically, or are we just waiting for the right moment to act? This parable offers a profound lesson about financial mindset. Many people believe that security means keeping their money untouched, avoiding risks. However, true security lies in financial intelligence, the ability to make money work for you. What we can learn from this story is that the fear of losing might be the greatest obstacle to financial growth. Are we acting as faithful stewards, or are we wasting opportunities? In the parable of the talents, the third servant is often remembered for one tragic mistake. He buried his talent out of fear. Jesus rebuked him harshly, calling him a wicked and lazy servant. This highlights a crucial financial lesson. Fear of loss often leads to inaction. How many of us keep our money safe in a savings account, only to watch it lose value due to inflation? The truth is, doing nothing with your money is a choice that can cost you more in the long run than taking calculated risks. When we operate from a place of fear, we fail to see the potential for growth, and our finances stagnate. The servant's fear of losing the talent kept him from experiencing the possibility of multiplying it. It's the same in our own financial lives. We may fear making mistakes, but avoiding investment or growth opportunities out of fear can be even more detrimental. By understanding the biblical principles of stewardship, we are called to take responsibility for our resources and manage them wisely. Jesus didn't call us to bury our talents. He called us to multiply them. If you find yourself constantly afraid of making financial decisions, remember that the Bible encourages faith and action. The wisdom of Jesus encourages us to overcome fear, trust in His guidance, and step forward in confidence. The parable teaches us that there is no growth without risk, and there's no prosperity without stepping out in faith. Don't let fear rule your financial choice. Embrace the opportunity to grow your wealth. In the parable, the servant who hid his talent wasn't just afraid of losing it, he was also withholding it. This act of holding on to what he had can be understood as a form of scarcity mindset. But Jesus didn't preach scarcity, he preached abundance. The principle of abundance tells us that there's enough to go around for everyone if we choose to invest and multiply what we've been given. Rather than holding on tightly to what we have, the Bible teaches us to sow generously, trust in God's provision, and watch as our wealth multiplies. When we withhold resources, whether it's money, time, or skills, we prevent the flow of blessings. Jesus wants us to take risks with what we have, to step out in faith and sow seeds that will bring forth a harvest. By withholding, we miss out on the opportunities for growth that God intends for us. Just as a seed needs to be planted in order to grow, our investments, whether in the form of money or effort, need to be put to work in order to bear fruit. The difference between withholding and multiplying is a matter of mindset. When we embrace the principle of abundance, we begin to see opportunities everywhere. This mindset allows us to take calculated risks and open the door to financial growth. Rather than fearing what we might lose, we begin to focus on the possibilities of what we can gain. Multiplication isn't just about wealth, it's about the mindset that drives us to make the most of the resources we've been given. In the parable, the servant who buried his talent made the mistake of letting it sit idle. The money wasn't working for him, and as a result, it wasn't growing. This is a powerful reminder that money sitting idle loses value over time, especially due to inflation. What we fail to put to work today is losing potential tomorrow. The lesson here is clear wealth is meant to be multiplied, not hoarded. Jesus teaches us that we must actively engage with what we've been given, using it to create more opportunities, generate income, and grow our financial resources. One of the most common mistakes people make is letting fear of risk keep them from investing their money. Whether it's real estate, the stock market, or even a small business, the key to wealth is in making money work for you. The servant who buried his talent was afraid of taking risks and losing what he had, but by doing nothing, he lost even more. To build wealth, you must embrace the idea of taking calculated risks, knowing that the potential for growth far outweighs the fear of loss. This principle doesn't only apply to money, it extends to all resources. If we have time, talent, or skills that we don't use, we are also letting them sit idle. Just like with money, if we don't actively invest in ourselves or in our future, we are losing the opportunity to grow. The message of the parable is that wealth, in all its forms, is meant to be put to work. If we want to see multiplication, we need to stop hiding our resources and start using them wisely. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to financial growth. Many people are afraid of losing their money in the market, so they choose to keep it in a savings account where it doesn't grow. However, the parable teaches us that fear of loss leads to stagnation. The servant who buried his talent out of fear didn't lose just money, he lost opportunities for growth. In today's world, fear of investing can prevent you from accessing the wealth that you could be creating. To overcome the fear of investing, it's essential to start small. Don't try to tackle the stock market right away or take massive risks with your first investment. Begin with safer options such as bonds, index funds, or real estate. As you gain experience and see positive results, your confidence will grow, and you can gradually expand your investments. The key is to start just like the parable suggests, with what you have, no matter how small it may seem. Another important step is educating yourself. The more you understand about investments, the less fear you will have. Invest in learning about personal finance, risk management, and investment strategies. Books, online courses, and financial podcasts are great resources to help you build your knowledge. Remember, investing is not about luck. It's about making informed decisions and being proactive with your money. In the parable, the master gave talents to his servants not just as a test of their financial savvy, but as a challenge of their faith and trust. The idea of multiplying money is not just about wealth accumulation, it's about being a good steward of the resources God has given you. According to the Bible, money is a tool, and how we manage it reflects our character and our relationship with our Creator. By multiplying what you have, you show responsibility and a desire to grow. But it's also important to remember that financial multiplication is not just about personal gain. It can be about using your wealth to bless others. As you accumulate wealth, think about how you can invest in things that will bring about good in the world. Whether through charity, business that creates jobs, or supporting ministries, your wealth can make a lasting impact. One of the most profound aspects of financial multiplication is understanding that money is not something to be hoarded. The more you multiply it, the more it has the potential to benefit others and promote positive change. You have a responsibility to steward your financial resources wisely and to use them for greater purposes than just self-enrichment. The parable is not just about avoiding loss, but about making a meaningful contribution to society. The parable of the talents highlights the importance of using creativity and initiative to grow wealth. The servants who took risks and invested their talents showed resourcefulness and creativity in their approach. This serves as a powerful reminder that wealth creation often requires stepping outside your comfort zone and thinking outside the box. Whether you're starting a business, investing in stocks, or developing a new skill, taking the initiative is key. It's not just about having a good idea, it's about putting that idea into action. The servant who hid his talent did not take the initiative to grow his resources, and as a result, he missed out on the opportunity to multiply what he had been entrusted with. Taking calculated risks, exploring new opportunities, and using your creativity are essential for financial growth. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to start creating wealth. Start small, be creative, and take the first step. Even small initiatives can lead to big rewards over time. The key is not waiting for perfection, but making progress. By embracing creativity and taking initiative, you can create wealth that benefits both you and those around you. Jesus' teachings about money and growth go far beyond the surface. In the parable of the talents, he doesn't just talk about financial prosperity, but about the mindset needed to achieve it. Jesus emphasizes the need for faith in the process, wise management, and responsibility. His message shows that financial growth is about more than just accumulating wealth. It's about developing a mindset of abundance, using what you've been given, and trusting that it will grow. Financial growth, according to Jesus, involves making choices that reflect wisdom, responsibility, and faith in God's provision. He doesn't promote reckless spending or chasing after wealth for the sake of status. Instead, he encourages stewardship and growth through hard work, creativity, and initiative. When we manage our finances with integrity and wisdom, we can trust that God will help us multiply our resources. Jesus teaches that financial growth is a spiritual responsibility, one that requires us to act wisely, plan carefully, and take risks when necessary. If we want to see true financial growth in our lives, we need to approach our resources with the same mindset that Jesus taught, a mindset focused on abundance, responsibility, and faith in the future. Investing wisely is all about using the resources you've been given in a way that aligns with your goals and values. The parable of the talents teaches us that God has entrusted us with gifts, skills, and even money, and it is our responsibility to make those things grow. In today's world, this means applying the principle of wise investing, whether it's in stocks, real estate, or even your personal skills. The key is to approach every investment with discernment, patience, and faith in its potential. One of the most significant takeaways from the parable is the idea that you shouldn't bury your money or hide your talents. Instead, you should look for opportunities to grow them. In practical terms, This could mean starting a small investment portfolio or dedicating time to learn a new skill. The important thing is that you're actively working to multiply what you have, rather than letting it stagnate. When we apply the parable of the talents to our financial lives, we're reminded that success doesn't come from being passive. It comes from taking action, seeking knowledge, and stepping out in faith. Whether it's putting your money into investments or investing in your own education, the key is to make sure that you're using your resources in a way that leads to growth, not just preservation. The transformation from a wicked servant to a faithful servant starts with a shift in mindset. The wicked servant in the parable was given talents, but chose to bury them out of fear and laziness. This represents a mindset that avoids risk, fearing failure or loss. However, to grow financially, we must embrace the mindset of the faithful servant, one who takes risks, invests wisely, and trusts in the growth potential of their resources. The first step in transforming your financial mindset is to recognize that money is a tool, not something to be hoarded. It is meant to work for you, not sit idle. Fear of investing often stems from a lack of understanding, so start by educating yourself on the basics of finance. Whether it's reading books, watching educational videos, or talking to experts, the more knowledge you have, the less fear you'll experience when it comes to making financial decisions. Finally, remember that faith and action go hand in hand. The faithful servant wasn't passive, he worked, he invested, and he multiplied. Your financial journey requires similar action. Take the lessons from the parable and apply them to your own life. Don't let fear stop you from growing your wealth and becoming a steward of your resources. As we reflect on the parable of the talents, it becomes clear that Jesus was teaching us more than just a lesson on money. He was teaching us about responsibility, growth, and the power of wisely managing the resources entrusted to us. The choice between burying our talents out of fear or using them to multiply and grow is the choice we face every day. It's a choice that will determine whether we live in financial scarcity or financial abundance. So, what will you do today? Will you continue to let fear hold you back from investing and growing your wealth? Or will you take action, step into the world of intelligent investing, and start multiplying your resources? The key is to start small and be consistent. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to a mindset of abundance. Take action, trust the process, and let your talents shine. Remember, in the world of finance, as in life, those who take calculated risks, embrace wisdom, and work diligently are the ones who reap the greatest rewards. Don't wait any longer. It's time to start multiplying your financial potential today.